Alright, so, I don't know what's going on. This program seems to be crashing me on a little bit, but it'll be alright. So, here I'm back. I've moved on from what I was just last talking about. I'm moving back to, reiterating some things I said 10, 12 weeks ago, okay? So when you're learning to prioritize and figure out how to use your time more effectively, you got to figure out what works for you. Not everybody thinks the same and works the same. I'm gonna upload, and you're gonna have another video on how to prioritize in some people's charts, and it works great in my when I was in graduate school. They had this huge prioritizing colored chart, and it didn't work for me. It's not how I think, not how I do. Or other people, yeah, they write lists, and that's how they get things done. And but you gotta figure out what works for you. So that's really, and so being behind and learning how to prioritize yourself is actually maybe a much better learning experience, and makes you much more as an employee than necessarily knowing a specific CAD skill, because prioritization is key and very, very unemployable. Where these CAD skills you can pick up a lot easier, where it's harder to learn time management. So, moving on to the next slide. Okay, this is so true, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. University for all is a lie. Okay, I told you guys, told you this before. It's really only for the top 10 to 20%. I think a lot of cases, both my morning and my afternoon kids, you guys you're close to being ready for a university, and you may be ready for a university come next fall or in 2 years. But the dilemma you run into is that you may not be ready for the academic rigors of super high academic classes. And so that's what's happening, is we have kids that are going and thinking they're going to be, these really, really hard things because these people make a lot of money. It's like, they aren't able to they don't have the skill set to go become them. Okay? Most students in general are underprepared for these higher levels in these universities. And it isn't the school's fault per se, okay? I'm a big fan of not blaming the schools. But that's what's going on. A lot of times people are just immature and have wrongful expectations of what they're able to do. And so I've watched kids fail so many times because they haven't learned that they got to do their homework. They got to go to class. And so excuse me, I'm just really trying to help you understand that what's best for you. And I teach this class largely because I know your guidance counselors aren't doing it, to have more time to help you, to have these conversations with you. I would be glad. I sit at my computer doing work because I gotta do something as I wait for you guys, and I want to have better, more meaningful conversations about possibly what you should do in college and where you should be at. Because I know your guidance counselors aren't, because they're trying to figure out how to deal with sophomore girls crap, because they looked at each other wrong, and I want to beat her up, and she stole my boyfriend. That garbage is what guidance counselors deal with, not the stuff they should be. And so I try to make myself there to help you. Okay, majority of you, 2-year college is what you need. It's really, as of right now, it's what you need. Where going back and getting more education may be better later on in life, when you are more mature, and able to be ready. One last next slide. I really want you to look at is to understand. Part of the reason why I'm pushing the pace, okay, is I'm trying not to waste your time. I feel like the time we have in here is minimal, and so I want you to be as active as you can be, and so I'm not wasting your time. You're not here to play computer games, so that's why I keep trying to give you activity after activity after activity, so you're always being successful, always continue to learn and develop. So that's the other part. So jumping back to jumping back to this presentation, the last one. This is where I feel like you should be. And so really, seniors, okay, in the college university process, you need to have applied, and I'm going to say 3 to 5 schools, okay? You need to apply to 3 to 5 schools, okay? So that's really where you're at. All you need to have done is apply, okay? The next thing, you need to have signed up for the SAT. You need to take the SAT one time in between now and probably February, okay? So figure out what schools you're going to apply for, get applied, sign up for the SAT, okay? Make sure you're in northeastern Indiana. You don't need to travel real far, but don't wait until it's at your home school. If you have to travel 45 minutes, it's minimal. Very, very minimal. And then go look for scholarships, okay? Start looking for scholarships. That's where you should be at in the process. So if you've applied to some schools, you signed up for the SAT, and you're exactly where you need to be. You don't need to decide, chose a school yet. You got time for that. You don't need to have 15, you don't need to be huge SAT prep. You should, but you should be applying for it. Or should you be filling out scholarships? Yeah, you should be gathering them. So, juniors, where you should be at right now in the process of college, sign up for the SAT. You don't need to take it until the spring, but get signed up for it. It's kind of why I had you guys do the activity earlier on. Okay? And then start to think about what you want to do until you're, what you want to do when you're 25. And so if you know what you want to do when you're 25, you can begin to think about and look at universities and colleges that offer the major that you want. So that's really where you're at. So if you haven't, if you need to apply to a college, okay, take a half a day, 2 hours on Sunday, start applying, and then take a half an hour every night and just make it a priority and get it done. Before you know it, everything will be fine. Okay, so. Alright guys, thank you for me to climb on my soapbox. I'm going to upload on this post another video on prioritization. So hopefully this will make sense and put our minds at ease. Alright, see you guys.